This is the Rush SR, a $40,000 race car that has its own spec championship. This beast is
faster than GT4. A good GT3 driver should be able to beat you.
And this is Grid Life, the most popular motorsports festival in America. In one single day, you can see time attacks, drifting events, touring GT races, the Rush SR races, and live concerts. It's essentially paradise for motorsports fans. And this is me, Suelio Almeida. I started playing racing games, then sim racing, became Canadian champion in sim racing in 2021, and now my passion is to share my real-life racing career journey with you. Imagine racing for the first time in a spec series with 25 identical race cars. Thanks to Rush Autoworks, who invited me to this event, I will experience a full race weekend with practice, quali, and races. So the team gave me a challenge. If I get a podium, they will give me another ride on the next round of the championship. And this is why this car is so amazing. The Rush SR is a purpose-built race car. It has 145 horsepower, weighs 500 kilos, has pedal shift, and revs up to 12,000 RPM. It's built around safety and reliability, and it provides some absolutely amazing racing.
Then Almeida, ultra deep on the brakes into 11, way wide, but rounds him up. What a move!
And the most incredible thing about it is that it was made to be cost effective. Just so you have an idea, this car costs just a little bit over $100 per hour to run. We're talking fuel, tires, brake pads, etc. If you compare it to other cars with similar performance, like a GT4 or other prototypes, this cost can go over $1,000 per hour just to run the car. This makes this car accessible to a lot more people who just can't afford the more expensive cars and will deliver the same performance and racing experience.
Because this is a spec racer, right? The number one focus is just to, first build something that's safe, and then for it to be reliable. An axle set of pads on this retail is $70. A set of tires I know is about $700. You can do 35, 40 heat cycles if you're not doing competition, if you're just doing track days. But these Nankings are absolutely fabulous.
If you ever driven a closed cockpit car, like any sort of GT4 car, even a Miata, right? They all require that side intrusion panels on the chassis, right, for the roll cage. Well, if you think about it in a closed cockpit car, when you're sitting in the seat, that bar is right here next to you. So in the event of a side impact, if those get deformed, they don't normally bend, but they are very close to you. Well, that's exactly what these are, is your side roll cage that you would in a closed cockpit car. But the biggest thing is, if you were to get a T-bone, these now have to deform 12 inches to even get to the chassis. And then you have the anti-intrusion paneling, any sort of side impact protection, and it's rock solid. I mean, we've had a couple of BMWs hit the side of our cars, and it's no issue.
Now, it's time to test it on track. For those who dream about racing in real life, this is what you do when you get on track for the first time in a car you don't know. You have to make sure that everything is working, and how the car responds to your inputs. How's the throttle response? And even more importantly, how hard do you have to brake? One thing that I noticed right away is that the pedal in this car is very heavy. So you have to brake very hard to make it work. And also, when the brakes are cold, you have to press even harder to make it work until the temperatures go up. Then you can press slightly less. But even on hot brakes, this car needs a lot of brake pressure. So if you're preparing to race this in real life, make sure you get your simulator brake force to over 80 kilos in your brake pedals. After you learn how this car responds to the inputs, now it's time to test the grip. How much braking performance can you get? And how much lateral grip you can extract from the car. This is super important because this grip information is what will allow you to determine what will be your braking references and your entry speed and minimum speed at each corner. Because in real life, we can't guess how much speed we're gonna carry into a corner. If you go too fast, you're f***ed. So what you need to do is figure out a way to determine those speeds by underdriving the car and testing the braking limits and the turning limits. After that only should you start moving your speeds up so that you can find the limit in a safe way. As I was trying to learn the car, I got focused and started getting used to it. And suddenly, while I was still thinking this was just the beginning of the session was over. And next up is qualifying, that I took way too long to get up to speed in this car. And this is a problem.
First session, I don't expect you to
I mean, I was 4 seconds off of the first session. I was not even like getting any references or anything. So I was fine. I was okay. Realistic, you know. Like,
What'd you do?
42. I was not sending it, man. I was like, just feeling it out. Changing the bias, testing the steering.
This works. No, this doesn't. This. All right, I like that. We'll keep it there. Okay, that works.
That's okay.
We had like one more practice session that lasted like 5 minutes right now, so we couldn't count practice. We're going straight to quality now, which is not ideal. My plan was to get some track time before quali and to finally find some speed or confidence, but the practice essentially didn't happen. Nervous, man.
For what?
Because I was ready to, you know, follow the plan and get the practice and then quali. But now there's no practice. Now we're going straight to quali. I don't have the markers. Like, I literally don't have the markers for braking. During qualifying, I was still not feeling ready to send it, but I had no other choice. So I started building up my speed lap after lap until I got to this lap, which felt great until the last corner. Well, see it for yourself.
How's quali?
Bad.
How come?
Slow. I got a lot of traffic. I didn't manage the traffic. I didn't manage the gaps before my fast laps, and I ran out of time. My traffic management was really bad this session. I just didn't find myself like in a good spot to do a fast lap. I always feel like the adrenaline is gonna make me drive a little bit better, and I think I will get some positions during the race. Yeah, top 10 for sure. That's like my obligation.
And we are ready to go. Rush SR, and they start into the acceleration zone, starting to build a little bit of speed. Watch at the tower there.
It's time. I'm starting P6. The finishing positions on race 1 determine the starting grid of race 2. And the race 2 is the one I need to get a podium. No mistakes, just follow the plan. We can do it. Let's go.
And we're green. Here we go. And a nice start.
Come on, I'm not being aggressive enough on these passes. I clearly have the pace to pass the guy ahead of me, but when I get close enough, I just end up backing off. right, maybe next time, but I have to pass him.
And the yellow comes out. We just saw that move in the back, and he couldn't get it done. So then that means you've got to settle it in here. And I think that was the number 10, Suelio Almeida, trying to sneak around on Ayler. And that caution just came out. If he got that done a little bit sooner, it would have stuck. But not in this case, and he's got to just tuck right back in again. So, full course caution here. Suelio Almeida here is a pretty cool story. He started off in sim racing and got to the point of being good enough in it, had won enough that he could coach, and won a Porsche Esports Championship. That got him an opportunity for an actual real-world drive where he acquitted himself pretty well. As they come up, wait for it.
On the restart, one mission: be more aggressive.
And we're green. Here we go. And look at Leach. Thought about the move. Radman might be able to do something up and around. 3 abreast in and up and bounding over the curves and almost a touch behind there in that battle for 4th.
Keep the pressure, keep the pressure. Nothing else. Don't lose the focus. Look forward and keep the pressure.
Suelio Almeida, it looks like he's going to have a shot at another top 5. I don't know that he's going to be satisfied with that. He is attacking on Ayler right now.
Yeah, fantastic job into the brakes of turn 12 there. It's a very tricky corner with the apex, and he did fantastic there.
Yeah, he is hounding him. He's in that gray with the red and white trim on it, all over the back. Looking to the inside. Wasn't quite close enough, and eventually had to bail on it. But he's showing some real pace right now, and Suelio has been really good in the brake zones. See him close down big time.
Yeah, and this is high stakes too, because this is the battle for the final podium position.
Absolutely it is. And not sure how much more time we're going to have. He looks again, and you can see that little bit of, as the white flag comes out, there was a little bit of the feint over from Ayler to dissuade him a little bit. And so now let's see if Almeida is going to be able to do anything on this last lap. He had a much better line through 1 and 2, and that's allowed him to close right back up on Ayler through 3 and up into 4.
Yeah, and Ayler's been closing in on Ryman big time through turn 4 the entire day, but it looks like he's fallen back a little bit there, so.
Last lap, last chance. I gotta go for it.
The best drivers, you know, you have to do it. And look at this run.
Here we go. Suelio deep on the brakes down into turn 8.
Beautiful.
And makes it work. That was clinical, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Perfect late break and just runs it out wide.
Getting it done. That's going to move him now up into the 4th spot for Suelio, 2/5, and now getting that 4th. He'll love that. It's just a matter of his pace. Actually, he's closing it up on Ryman, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought that would help Ryman more, but they're closing in fast.
The margin between Ryman in the 3rd spot, Almeida in 4th, only 0.7 of a second.
Nice. This is not a podium yet, but at P4, it shows the potential that I can maybe get a podium on the last race. One more race to go. Let's go.
Absolutely fabulous battle for the final step on the podium. There's Almeida's pass. Beautiful going into turn 8 and picking up that 4th spot. Just didn't have quite enough time to get after Ryman the 4th third. And so the podium goes to John Ryman, but an absolutely superb run here.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! You almost had 3rd too. You were grabbing him. You got the pace, man. You got the pace. It's gonna be great. Oh my God,
bro,
dude, yes.
I was fast with P3.
Yeah,
I was catching up so much.
Yeah, you were like, you just ran out of turns, you know. Oh man, it was.
If it wasn't for a safety car,
yeah,
I would have gotten P3.
Yeah.
So here we go, final race of this opening weekend for the Grid Life Rush SR Championship. Here we go, waiting for that flag to fly. We're green!
Almeida is right on Ryman, though. Looking to the inside here in 1.
Ryman didn't have a great run through 2, but in 3, but now, let's see, I don't think Almeida's close enough to try and make that surprise move into 4 at this point.
Come on, keep the pressure, keep the pressure. At some point, he's going to crack. Let's go. Show up in his mirrors, stay close, get in his head. Maybe he can make a mistake because of that.
And this battle remains fierce here.
Yeah, Ryman's defending the best he can, but Almeida's not giving up.
And Almeida looks to be able to stick with Ryman without the car moving around anywhere near as much as Ryman's is.
Yeah, that's a lot of experience on Almeida's pace to be able to follow that close and not make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
The stick's closing in on Leach,
Yeah,
though.
he sure is.
Leach
Leach
must
made
have
a
an
mistake,
issue.
or did he brake?
Leach has an issue. No.
He
But
didn't pit?
I wonder. Interesting.
Yeah.
It seems like he's got back up the pace, but
Wow, I wonder what that could have been. You remember the Stig normally will pull into the pits as the white flag starts. So Ryman and Almeida right now, they're battling essentially for the potential win here.
yeah, absolutely. That'd be huge for either of them.
Oh,
You know,
man, both of them.
Ryman stretched out a nice gap to Almeida there, 1.7 seconds.
I wonder if Almeida just pushed too hard and used his tires up just a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's also got to focus now on defending from Leach because Leach is on him.
I really don't know what happened, but at the second half of the race, I started losing pace, I started losing grip, I started losing performance. Maybe my tires were starting to go because that's the same set I've been using the whole weekend, and I started overdriving the car a little bit.
And like we were talking
But
about,
look at Leach close. Sorry, I thought he might try something down into 8, and I think Almeida did too. He left him a little bit of room.
Yep.
And you know, he didn't need to, but that slowed his exit. So let's see. Maybe Leach will do something here down into 11. He's close. Oh,
he's taking a look. Oh,
into
makes
his
the
hand.
move.
Wow. And I think Almeida went, yeah, I don't want any part of that.
That's
side by side through 10.
hairy place to be side by side there, especially with how fast these cars are.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, they're right. Leach was so fast that there was absolutely no point in fighting with him. My idea here is maybe he attacks Ryman and I can fight for a P2. And also at this point of this race, I went from attacking to just defending and fighting for the podium, fighting to keep the podium.
Into 14, not close enough to do anything there. We have
Oh,
a full course
yellow.
caution. Wow, Radman gets an amazing opportunity here.
What a reset. And actually, it looks like the Stig pitted in that lap.
So all right, so it's game on here. And here comes the pace car. And that Ryman and Leach and Almeida, if they tortured their tires too much, they're going to get a little breather here. But Radman showing amazing pace. And now that big deficit will evaporate as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is honestly the best case scenario for Radman. Full reset, you know, he's back in the main pack.
And the pace car's in. So we are going green. We're green. The restart is happening.
That's it. Last few laps. All I need to do is defend. And Rob, the blue car, is flying and he is going to attack. And I'm gonna have to defend my P3.
Yeah, Almeida's looking behind, trying to, pounce on the opportunity.
And he's through. So Radman continuing his march up through the pack, right on the back of Almeida. Oh, little wiggle there. And who's that ran wide?
He's there. He's right there. This is one of those moments where you just say to yourself, you shall not pass.
Now Radman is looking to spoil the day here after getting around on Billingsley. He's trying to spoil the day for Almeida and potentially Ryman in terms of a podium here. There's a look at Suelio Almeida sitting right now in a podium spot. When they cross the line, as the white flag comes up.
Last lap, full focus, no mistakes. We've got this. I don't want to look in the mirrors, but I can't help it.
Attacking.
Oh, he's making a move.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that was a nice move by Almeida. It was a nice defensive move. He chose the spot on the track that Radman wanted to go.
Yeah, Yeah, Radman's going to be right on his tail, though, now.
Yeah.
We've seen him make moves into the kink this weekend. He's got the draft.
He does. He's there. He's got the pace.
I was scared of doing the next corner alone the whole weekend, but now I'm gonna have to do it side by side, and I'm not going to yield.
Look at that. Going to the outside. Boy, this is sketch. And does it.
Makes it stick.
Almeida being very gentlemanly there, and then Almeida ultra deep on the brakes into 11. Way wide, but rounds him up. What a move.
Just 2 more corners. We're almost there.
What an outside roundup by Almeida.
Yeah, what a battle for P3 there. Fantastic job by both competitors.
Yeah, this is great stuff. Here we go. Onto the front straight. Suelio, who's at 2/5 and a 4th, gets a podium.
Yes! I did it! After struggling so much the whole weekend, I finally did it. I got a podium. It was not the result I wanted. I was not as fast as I know I can be, but I'm not getting out of this weekend empty-handed.
Where are we walking to?
Podium.
How did you do last week?
Okay. Lots of mistakes, but still got a podium, so I'm happy. But not happy. Happy. Neutral. Could have been better.
Suelo Almeida. He's still in his suit. That's how serious he is. I love it, dude. Maybe some of the best sounding cars in our paddock.
There's more. There's a lot of stuff to improve, but it was a very good experience. Now we have a lot more cool stuff coming.
Sim racing is growing more and more, and it's bringing real-life racers and sim racers together. This is making the competition level rise like I've never seen it before. So if you want to become that competitive, the secret is in the driving technique more than equipment. My professional driving technique course, the Motor Racing Checklist, already has over 3,000 drivers, including real-life drivers and professional esport drivers, just so you know how good it is. I made this course after coaching over 2,000 drivers in one-to-one live sessions, and it contains all the advanced concepts, techniques, and exercises that I've developed with my students over all these years of coaching. It's perfect for any simulator, racing games, and also for real-life drivers wanting to use a simulator to improve their real-life driving technique. This course is about car handling skills, and the goal is to make you find better lap times and consistency. You will learn how to prevent and induce specific behaviors and learn how to feel them earlier so you can predict what's happening with the car with professional precision. By the way, this course has a money-back guarantee with no questions asked. So if you don't improve, you get your money back. And you can join my Discord to read reviews and ask any questions. Join the course now, and I will see you on track.